I'm Dawn New, and this is Paige Clark. And we're from Indiana University, and we are talking today about advertising, adventures in advertising. And the two topics that we have are audience analysis and the infomercial, and we're tying those to the advertising world. First one that I'm going to talk about is one that ties to audience analysis. When I say we're going to talk about audience analysis, I usually get the yawns, and I think, oh, it's going to be a rough day. So I've learned to have a kickoff when talking about audience analysis. Even though we'll talk about it all semester, this is a good way to just get them thinking about it right off the bat. So what I have them do is I have them get into groups of 4, and I pass out a magazine ad that was not intended for college students. These two. College students would not stop looking through their magazine to look at these ads. And what I have them do is I have them, they realize in advertising, there's a lot of money in advertising. Someone did think about an audience. So at first I have them think, well, who is the intended audience for these ads? Why would they stop and look at this? What's the message for them? What content's included for them? And then what I have them do is come up with an entire new advertising strategy for college students, or I let them choose a difficult audience. So for an example, I read Runner's World. You see energy drinks all the time in a magazine like that. Who could you sell an energy drink to that's not an athlete, for example? So you can think about like hostile audiences and neutral audiences. So with all of that said, it really helps them to think through like Maslow's hierarchy of needs and just the audience. What do they need? What makes them tick? What motivates them? What makes them stop what they're doing to pay attention to what you have to say? So we do this activity in audience analysis, and then we take it one step further, and I'm cheesy, I like to tie things to The Apprentice. So I'll put up a big slide of the boardroom that Donald Trump would be in, and I have them get up, again this is early in the semester, but they get up with their group of 4, and they talk about this advertisement, who the audience was, but then how they would change that for the intended audience. So the content they would include, a slogan they would include, an image they would include, and then they present that to the class. And it gives them a chance right there at the beginning of the semester to present in a team. I don't give them any points or anything, so I can really coach them on delivery. If they have fillers or if they look really bored, we can start to talk about some of those delivery components.
So as the semester progresses, we like to tie back to advertising again when it comes to discussions about persuasion. And one of the most integral elements I think to talk about is Monroe's motivated sequence and the use that it has in really helping persuade an audience. And no matter how cheesy or silly we sometimes think commercials and infomercials are, they really are masters of persuasion. They can hook you and get you to buy a product in 15 to 30 seconds. And almost, I would say 9 times out of 10, they are using Monroe's motivated sequence to do that. So one element and one way that I help them really remember this material is to create their own infomercial. And this is something that we just do in class. It's only worth a few points. It's really for the experience as opposed to all of the specific detail. And I have them get into groups of about 4, and I tell them that they need to create a new product to sell to the audience. And I really push them to throw reality out the window. I don't care if it's realistic. If you want to create a remote control to fast forward you through awkward situations, go for it. I really think creativity is a really fun thing for them, because we can learn through fun too. It doesn't just have to be through the books. So I have them get into teams and they work through and create an infomercial or commercial that has the 5 steps of Monroe's motivated sequence and also the 3 types of emotional appeals: ethos, logos, and pathos. And I really get them into being creative with creating the commercial. I don't like them just standing in a line telling us what the commercial would look like. I really want it to look like the commercial. So if they're doing a demonstration of, has this ever happened to you? I want to see them kind of acting out what that would look like. And this is a wonderful opportunity not only to really help them remember those steps and the appeals, but the thing that I think both of us see every single semester, it is sometimes a huge turning point for students. You have the really shy, quiet student that has never really let themselves go and fully commit to something. They are maybe one of the most energetic and excited individuals in this presentation. And it's a really great chance for them to see, I can have fun when I'm presenting, and maybe I'm not quite as nervous as I once thought I was, and I can do this. And it's just a really great point to let them have fun and connect to the material, but also to really work on those delivery skills and the energy, because when you think about persuasion, you could have the best idea ever, but if you're not committed to it, then the rest of it's pretty much null and void.